If anyone has a car with Florida plates, the lights are on inside. It's in the parking lot up front. Thank you.
How are you? I'm sure you always have a lot. Really? No. Long time no see. I was here. I missed the last one, but I came to the first one. Been a lot.
I was out of town.
That's what I want to know. Yeah. So yeah, I just it's like that.
My wife.
Yeah, so that's why it's stepped up. Like the past year, I stepped up prior. Now it's right. That's right. The rest of yours are tough. Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Sometimes. No, they're right there now. And the little lot here, right? The lot is that middle row. People extended that row. So. That's why I was there.
Sandra.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our third strategic planning meeting. Once again, my name is Mike Anderson, and for those of you who have not been here, I'm the president of the Denville Board of Education, and I first want to thank all of you for coming this evening. For those of you who have not been here, this is our third meeting, and I welcome all of you. I thank you for being here. We've had a great turnout for all of our meetings, including this evening, and really, just as a reminder of why we're here and what we're trying to accomplish, these strategic planning meetings give us a roadmap for the next 5 years with the district. Really, when we invite stakeholders in, staff members, parents, community members, business owners, the Denville police have been involved, the township leadership has been involved, to really help us understand where they see the district in 5 years. And then it is our job for the Board of Education to really spend the next 5 years building out goals on an annual basis to meet those that 5-year plan. So I thank you all for being involved. This evening, though, I'm just going to take a couple minutes out of our strategic planning meeting and invite Laura Wagner up. Laura is a board member that has been on the board for the past 6 years, and tonight is Laura's last Board of Education meeting. So I wanted to just thank her for her 6 years of dedicated service to the board. The board would like to give you a small memento of our appreciation for your work The board is a lot of work, and Laura has done a phenomenal job, including president for probably the most difficult time in history to be the president during the pandemic, and handled it wonderfully. And I thank you for your service and your dedication to the community. So thank you very much. With that, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Charlene Peterson from New Jersey School Board Association. She facilitates these meetings. And before I do that, I just want to say thank you to Charlene, Dr. Forte, Dr. Cullis, Damaris, the entire staff, the school board team that's been here. It's a lot of work to put these meetings on, and they've done a phenomenal job, so thank you to them. But I'm going to turn it over to Charlene.
Good evening, everyone. It really is a pleasure to have everyone here, and Denville just continues to keep turning out. I mean, a lot of times, the meetings sometimes as they progress, there's sometimes fewer people, and but Denville just keeps showing their support for the schools. So we really do appreciate it. So like I said, tonight is our third and final meeting of the work that we're going to do here. So the first two meetings, we were providing input, and now tonight we're going to use that input then to do you mentioned a roadmap, so that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to write, or we're going to develop that roadmap using the input from the first two meetings. So I'm just going to kind of take you through again the steps of what your job is for tonight, so that when you break into your groups, you'll be able to hit the ground running with the work that you need to do tonight. So we always start out, again, and I'm happy to see that we have some new people here tonight. We said they've not been here before. So really, and that's how this process really, helps bring in as many members of the community as we can. We appreciate you being here in whatever number of meetings you can come. So we always start out kind of talking about that common definition, or, what do we think strategic planning, why are we here? And it's to develop that common vision that's meaningful to your community about student achievement. What is it that we, you as a community want for your students, and how are we going to work together to help make that happen? So we walked through a process. So in the first meeting, we answered the question, where are we now? And that started out with a state of the district report that kind of gave us some basic information about the district. And then you went into smaller groups. I think we had 10 different groups. And each group talked about what they felt were the top 10 strengths of the district, and then also the top 10 challenges and opportunities. And then we presented out our work to one another so that we all left with a common understanding of where the district is now. Then we came back for the second meeting and said, okay, if we know where we are now, where do we want to be 5 years from now? Where do we see the district going? What do we want for our students? If we're not restricted, if we don't stop our thinking, let's really talk about what we want for the students. So then we developed kind of what our visions then were for the future, 5 years from now. So then now our job tonight then is to say, okay, we know where we are now. We then talk about where we want to be 5 years from now. What's the roadmap look like then of how we're going to get there? So that's our work for tonight. So we're essentially developing the what. What is the direction? What is, what is the direction we want the district to go in the next 5 years? And then recognize then that the last piece of this then will be the how, that will be developed by the staff of saying, okay, all the stakeholders gave us this gave us this roadmap. Now we're going to put the pieces together to help build that roadmap out. So this just kind of is a graphic representation of what I just talked about with some dates in there so that you can kind of see how we progressed. We've been meeting essentially every 2 weeks. All the work that we do is always based on your district's mission statement, so that should always be in the forefront of our mind as we are having our conversations in our groups of saying, is what we're talking about helping support this? Are we in alignment with this mission statement? So, last time we said, okay, we had the strengths, the challenges, we had the visions. But before everything was divided by what table number, came up with the input, we said, okay, if we had to take all the strengths and challenges, all the visions, and say we only had like 4 buckets to put them in, what would those buckets look like? So, and I think people would not be surprised, like, operations would be, all the work we talked about with the buildings and having to make sure that we need to be able to accommodate the growth that's coming. So we know then that that's an area that needed to be talked about. There was a lot of talk about social emotional learning and kind of the health and wellness of our staff and students. So that's where the caring culture came from. We know that student success is the work that we do here, so there always needs to be a student achievement bucket. And then also, we can't do this work without connecting with our family and with our community. So that always needs to be a focus of our work as well. So those are the 4 areas then that are going to drive tonight's work. So when you came in, you were asked to kind of self-select an area of interest to you. So that those are, kind of the 4 goal areas. So all the strengths, challenges, and visions were resorted then by these 4 areas. So one of the things then when you get to the table, at each table then for each person, so like in the family and community connections, is all the strengths, the challenges, and the visions sorted by that goal area. So grab that sheet when you get to your table. So first I'm just going to kind of take you a little bit through the process of writing a goal statement, and then I'll reinforce again kind of how to use this data. So again, just going to kind of take you through what this looks like. So when we talk about developing a goal statement, we're going to think about one big, broad, overarching statement. This is a 5-year plan. So this statement has to be big enough. It has to be broad enough. It has to be so that it is still effective. It's still meaningful after a 5-year period. Then we need to take that big, broad statement and say, okay, we need to break it down into a little bit more meaningful parts, because if it's so big and it's so broad, how is the administration going to be able to, how are they going to be able to write the action plans that mirror what it is what we're expecting or that we're asking for? So we need to break it down a little bit more then to kind of into some meaningful parts, and I'll show some examples of that in just a minute. So as we look at then writing a goal statement, basically saying that first we are going to break that into parts and saying, okay, like what do we want to accomplish? Like what's the action verb? So in this case it was to, in the example I'm giving, to create. So what is it that we want to impact? In this example, a safe and secure learning environment, so that what will the outcome do for you? Equipped to deliver 21st century programs. So this is kind of the process, and this is on the back of all of your agendas, so that when you get in your small groups, you have that to look at. But just kind of a way to help you think as you're constructing this goal statement, kind of what the component parts of a goal statement look like. So in this example, this group here were their visions, their strengths, their challenges. Their goal area was kind of looking at facilities and safety. So there was that goal statement that we had to create a safe and secure learning environment equipped to deliver 21st century programs. So that was the big broad goal statement. And we said, okay, well then now let's break it down a little bit more. What do we mean by that? So it said, well, we want to upgrade the facilities to be more energy and cost efficient. Okay, we can, that would give the administration some direction to write some action plans, right, about what that could look like. Increasing internal and external community at all the schools, again, gives some direction. We're not telling them how to do it, and that's another important part of this, is making sure that that our thinking stays at that strategic level, that our thinking stays at that higher level, and we're giving big, broad, we're giving direction, but not in the how, kind of saying we're taking this big, broad what and breaking it down into some smaller whats, and then upgrade the existing facilities to be more structurally modernized. So now you can see that we took that one statement, broken down into some smaller parts. And so now you can see then how you can develop a 5-year plan from that without being too prescriptive of telling them how to do it, but giving them enough direction to know what we're talking about, to know what direction we want them to go, and to kind of lay out the roadmap. So that really then will be your job for tonight, then, is kind of just with that example I just showed of writing that first big overarching statement, and then supporting objectives to go with it. Again, like I said, staying at that strategic level. So, and then similarly to what we did last time, in the previous times of when you break into your small groups, to first start out introducing yourself, kind of talking about what your connection to the district is, making sure that our conversations stay focused on the big picture. And really tonight, because we are thinking strategically and we're writing strategic goals, we almost have to stay at that level because we are writing a roadmap for the whole district. Kind of the challenge sometimes when you have a large group is, in the past we had 10 tables, right, that you all split up at. So now we only have 4 tables because each goal area is a table. So now there may be larger groups sitting at each one of the tables. So one of the things that you'll find when you get into your groups is, so kind of took all the strengths, the challenges, and the visions that are, and these sheets are at the table, and there are kind of guiding categories under them. So what you might want to do is kind of take your big group and break it up into smaller subgroups. So like let's say in caring culture, there's, the group will be looking at SEL, the group will be looking at cultural awareness, the group will be looking at a supportive environment and different district pathways. So you might, if you've got a large table, you might say, okay, some of you work on, the objective that might, accommodate this area. Some of you talk about this, some of you talk about that. So you might decide at your table how you want to handle this, and recognize that if it's too challenging for you to just all in one group write one statement and write all the objectives together, recognize that you might want to take the work and divvy it up a little bit based on some of the subparts that would go with this. So in each one of the sheets that are at your table, they're on one side are kind of the big ideas that were pulled out of this. And this I got from help from the administration. I took all the strengths, the challenges, the visions, and left them kind of as in a spreadsheet type thing, and said, what are the things that kind of speak to you? What are the things that you're maybe kind of working on, or direction you were kind of thinking, so that we don't say go right and the district's already going left, right? So we just I asked them for some help or some input on what, as they looked at your listing of things, what are some things that might be considered big ideas? So that's on the front of each one of your sheets, and then on the back of each one of the sheets at the tables are then the actual data or the actual input. So you might start looking at kind of the big ideas, and then as you're helping write a statement from it, look at the actual data to kind of help support your thinking. And so like I said, we would like you to be able to self-select. But one of the things we also hope is that the goal areas need to be somewhat even. So like if there's maybe, say, 30 people that want to go somewhere and only 5 people that want to go somewhere else, we might, ask if there's volunteers that might want to move to their table, just so that we're trying to get, some even input here. So each one of you should have identified what table you want to go to. So I'm going to give about an hour here. So the kind of what each table to come back with is for your goal area, writing a goal statement, a big overarching goal statement, and then writing the sub-objectives. say no more than 5 that will kind of go underneath to support your goal statement. And it should be not the how, but we're going to keep all of our conversation focused on the what. So even almost the objectives kind of look like mini goal statements: to do this, to accomplish this, to, so kind of making sure that we are staying in that lane. Anyone have any questions before we kind of go into our different areas? Okay, yeah, you guys are all pros at this, right? So we're going to go ahead then. You can kind of see the 4 tables are in the back there, so kind of find again the area that was of interest to you. And then we'll kind of see how it shakes out in terms of being evenly distributed or not.
Might as well eat a cookie. I might as well eat a cookie.
Cookies.
one thing that talked about might be that too, the previous meeting was having consistency like you said from all schools. And we have coaches who math and like social emotional learning is such a huge touch, and I feel like that she's such a goal to having that be a consistent kindergarten and school, but then even having a district-wide committee or something that as well as for the kids that big picture district-wide one, and then we're going to reach that kindergarten.
You're hoping that from, like little kids, and they do this every year, so it's
say something that they say every year, that like, that if someone trained it, that they would step outside the They're gonna be on part of go outside, but
Yeah.
that, like, I'm just trying to better understand. Sure, right. I guess the word, the objective would be to somehow
Parking lot, good for him, because that parking lot had access to across the street. It's a blue house and they renovated it. That's
So let me ask you this question. Does that mean we don't non-5 But you just, because then, so but my point is, it's not just sitting on our laurels, right? But to make sure, that every year you are consistently and aggressively looking for the best opportunities, right? So,
yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
I'm just there you go. Bingo. So that's why I'm saying, like, wording it.
Yeah.
I missed Callie. Yeah, like the board members. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. What embarrassment. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you are, you are. Give me a hug.
Has subbed.
finally earned that before.
She must have did it after this.
Yeah. That's yeah, that's cool.
You guys already proved it.
Yeah. That's funny. Easily accessible in a iPad. I don't like it. I don't like using the car. Everything. It's like everything. My dentist is like opposite. I don't
Quite exciting thing.
And then they were part of my business. Honeymoon was also right there, right? Yeah, almost not for jobs. So the CEO uses it.
We'll just take care of that. Okay, can we have everyone come back to their seats, please? Okay, so whoever's going to be reporting out for the student success group, to come up. Okay, everyone, can we come back so that we can hear the great work that's taking place tonight? I just wanted to first, before I turn it over, just really say thank you to everyone. I think that as we were walking around, the conversations in your groups are really amazing, and you guys just got right to it and did some really great work tonight, so I'm really excited to see what this plan is going to look like. So I'm going to turn it over to the student success to get us started.
Okay, so we were the student success group. Our goal statement was to provide academic curricula that is engaging, challenging, and student-centered, empowering all learners to achieve success. Our objectives are to design practices and structures that develop critical thinking in all areas, to provide tools and authentic opportunities within the school and community for students to excel in leadership, to develop and enhance existing programs to encompass all learners, and to expand opportunities for the exploration of the arts.
So much fun. All right, so we looked at the goal statement. Continue to provide sustainable, safe facilities incorporating cutting-edge technology in a fiscally responsible manner to support modern learning styles. So our objectives. The first one, modernize sustainable, expanded learning spaces to ensure learner equality as feasible. So what we say with that, and what we mean is, it's not just
go build a building? Can you do outdoor classrooms? Modernize the spaces you have to better meet the needs of the students and the modern learners. Maintain and ensure Denville continues to lead in providing a safe and secure environment, both physically and virtually. So, there's the different changes and threats depending on where you are, and you need to look at it. Increase the percentage of non-tax revenue as compared to traditional funding sources. Are there opportunities to generate revenue, to pursue different grants, different things like that? And last one, upgrade the technology backbone of the district to support the entire school community and optimize facility functions. Can every kid get on a video streaming for a website at the same time? Is that something? That should be one of those objectives and goals to reach. Can we control building facilities without being in the building? Different things to look at. There's other ways to do this kind of stuff, and we hope we can get there.
Great. Okay, family and community connections.
So for family community connections, we did to increase connections between the schools, community programs, and all stakeholders to enhance positive student outcomes. And our objectives were to build ways to reach out to the entire community beyond the students and their families. So we talked a lot about involving households that do not have students within the schools and making sure we have their support for things with referendums and budgets, and to make sure they have a stake in understanding that the better schools are the better property values, and to make sure we have communication with them as well. To streamline and enhance communication coming from the school by using a universal system. We have dreams of a simple system that goes across all schools and everyone can access what they need easily. Our third one was create relationships and partnerships with third-party community facilities and organizations, and we talked a lot about using other organizations and reaching out to the benefit of both the schools and them. The idea, we had maybe the ice cream socials going on. We also have or maybe that's even later actually, but I think that's my next one, I'm jumping ahead to. But using other community organizations to help support the schools and the students and the parents. Find effective and creative ways to engage parents in education and learning process. So that was our idea of something like the ice cream socials going on. Perhaps there's also an area that parents can go to and learn the new math curriculum. But finding ways to help the parents and get them engaged in what's going on. And then finally, promote student involvement in civic duties and volunteerism through relatable and age-appropriate experiences, making sure the kids understand civics and what makes the government work and how to get things accomplished.
And then caring culture.
I'm going to call on I'm going to call for a friend. We were like talking a lot, so we finally, we were the last to finish. So we were caring culture, and we created the goal statement to state, to create a safe and comfortable learning environment so that students and staff are empowered to be their authentic selves. So we basically wanted to make sure that everyone felt like it was okay to, make a mistake or learn a different way or, just mess up and not have the class or the rest of the building, laugh at you. So, be their authentic selves and be empowered to do so. So in order to get that way, the objectives, one of which are to develop a vertically aligned progression throughout the district of social and emotional skills. So we really, our point in creating that objective was really so that every school does have something set forth, the pride, the rockets, but we wanted to make sure that everyone was doing kind of the same thing so that we can touch space and just have everything known district-wide, and the parents understand it very easily too. The second objective was to celebrate, and this was more about cultural awareness, to celebrate individuality through exposure, education, and acceptance. And again, we feel like that is being done a lot in the school already, but we just want to make sure that we continue to do so in really specific ways. And that's the next group's job, so good luck to make it even better. The third objective would be to invest in consistent support. Which one is this one? So we were talking about supportive environment. So this was to invest in consistent support to meet all learning preferences through tiered resources and professional development. So this is really more geared towards the teachers and making sure that the teachers have the resources and the professional development to help the different learning styles of our students. The last objective was to create consistent systems. What was that one all about? Was that district pathways maybe? Possibly. So it was to create consistent systems to nurture students' development and foster upstanders across all schools. So that was more, again, about, supportive environment and making sure that there is the kids who maybe are not necessarily doing the right thing, we can pinpoint those particular kids and help them be the teachers of what our acronyms are all about. And we were talking a lot about role plays with that and utilizing the role play model.
Thank you so much to everyone. So can you see now how this work all came together and how as a group you developed a plan and how you really can see what the future that your district can look like 5 years from now, right? Based on this roadmap that we've developed. So like I said, we did our job, right? We did the what, we provided this roadmap. So now the next piece of it is to have the how accomplished, laying out the steps to do this. And then once everything is all together, what we do is I'll come to a future board meeting to deliver the plan and kind of do a management overview of this process. And we'd like to invite everyone to come back to that meeting so that you can kind of see that final plan and again, be formally thanked for all the work that you did. So we will be in contact with you about when that will be, and then, like you said, you'll be able to see then how this all came together. So again, I really appreciate everything that you have done, all your work. You really took this in stride, and I'm really excited about the outcome here. So just wanted to say thank you to everyone, and excited about where your school district is going in the next 5 years. So thank you.
I just want to say thank you too. You guys were great. Amazing your cooperation with the community. Put this together. On behalf of our team and the Board of Ed, we thank you all, and we will be showing you what we've created. It'll be something to live by, like we did with the last one. We'll see posters of it, and it'll be graphically designed nicely. And so again, thank you all. Appreciate it. If you want to stay for the rest of our board meeting, you're welcome to. If not, you're also welcome to. Thanks a lot. Yeah, take some pictures.
See you later. Thanks. Thanks guys for coming. See you later.
Great job.
Say goodbye to me. No way.
Let's go over there.
I will do that.
Laura, you're in. We don't need these. Sandy, are we good?
Yeah, no, tell us where to sit.
Sorry.
There we go.
Very nice. You're right, you were the president during some crazy times.
Speech.
Public has to go now.
Don't leave yet, Laura. We need you to finish this meeting.
Yes.
He's in here, right? Right spot.
Yeah, I don't think Rick could give us a perfect hat.
Take a picture of this. Send it to Bush. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Who's online to be able to see if we have any comments?
Cindy.
So you're online, okay.
Okay, welcome back to our Board of Education meeting. We just completed under good of the cause, D, other, our strategic planning session with the public. And we're now going to open up for our second open public comment section. This portion of the meeting is open to any individuals for the purpose of addressing resolutions on this agenda or matters that they find important to the Board of Education and is governed by Board Policy 0167. Prior to making a comment, members of the public are required to state their names, addresses, and the subject matter of the comment. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. Comments made by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board or district administration. Any response that is provided will be made at the end of the public comment period after all comments have been heard. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful to the rights of other individuals when speaking. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. Therefore, comments regarding specific students and employees will not be responded to by the board. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comment and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. All statements, questions, or inquiries shall be directed to the board president. I'm going to open this public comment section at 9:12 p.m. Anybody who'd like to make a comment can come up to the podium, state their name and address for the record. Dr. Forte, can you just confirm we don't have any questions or raised hand in the Google Meet?
There's no one in the Google Meet.
Okay, excellent. So I will close our second public comment section at 9:13 p.m. We do not have a need for executive, is that correct, Dr. Forte?
Correct.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Wagner. Thank you, Mr. Capello. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? None? Any abstentions? None? We are closed at 9:13 p.m.